National Teachers Institute, we're a great teacher trainer. National Teachers Institute, learning place for teachers, situated in Kaduna and spread nationwide. Always molding teachers, we are great, we are great. Using ODE techniques, we train and retrain. National Teachers Institute, improving teachers' quality to make Nigeria great.
Behind the scenes of great achievers, a detailed account of Dr. Hafiz Suleiman Wali's life, his successes and some of the challenges, drawn from available sources. Some areas have gaps, because the historical records are limited. Early life, education, and career path. Birth and background. Hafiz Wali was born in 1936. Family. He came from the Wali family of Kano Wali, being a title in Kano for non-Prince knowledgeable in Islamic law. He had several distinguished siblings, for example Professor Sadiq Suleiman Wali, a physician. Early career as teacher, technical education. He started teaching at Yowa Secondary School, Maiduguri. Then he taught at Ida Craft School, now in Kogi State, Mashi Craft School in Katsina, and Woodall Technical College. He rose to the rank of Inspector of Education in Kaduna. Further education. He obtained a master's degree in systems engineering in the U.S. under a Ford Foundation scholarship. Founding of NTI and major contributions. Founding NTI. In 1976, the federal government established the National Teachers Institute NTI Kaduna. Drive. Wali is credited as its founder and first director, chief executive. Under his leadership, NTI was designed to provide distance learning in service teacher education programs to improve teacher quality across Nigeria. Distance learning and outreach. He was a strong advocate of using distance education to expand educational access. During his time, NTI developed field and study centers in many state capitals. In 1977, a survey was done to plan how these would relate to the Ministry of Education in each state and the NTI headquarters. Continuity past retirement age. Though the retirement age was 60, when his term was supposed to end around 1992, the then Education Minister Jibril Aminu persuaded him to continue so that the NTI's distance learning vision could be more fully realized. Later work. After retirement, Dr. Wali continued to contribute as a systems analyst, consultant, and in information and communication technology (ICT). Other roles. He served on secondment to the Commonwealth of Learning. He was head of the National Moon Sighting Committee, an organ of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, underscoring his reputation in Islamic education scholarship. Successes. Here are some of Dr. Wali's key successes. 1. Institutional establishment and longevity. Founding NTI and helping it to take root, survive, and expand has had long-term impact on teacher training in Nigeria. Many teachers benefited, especially via distance in service programs. 2. Promotion of technical craft education. Through his early work and insistence that students engage in practical work, not only theory, for example, building classrooms, hostels with students, Dr. Wali helped instill a stronger practical orientation. 3. Scholarship and global learning. Securing the Ford Foundation scholarship and exposure to foreign best practices, e.g. systems engineering, helped bring ideas and skills back to improve Nigerian educational administration. 4. Vision for distance learning. In Nigeria's context, large population, many remote areas, distance learning is vital. Drive. Wali's work anticipated many of the modern pushes to use remote digital education. 5. Respected character and scholarship. He was well regarded for integrity, humility, clarity, high professional standards. 6. Impact beyond NTI. His roles in advising, consultancy, contributions to Islamic affairs, etc., mean his influence went beyond just teacher training.
Challenges, failures, limitations. While Drive Wali had many achievements. There were also challenges, some inherent to the context, others perhaps due to limitations of resources or structural constraints. Not all failures are personal, but here are things that appear from the record. 1. Resource constraints. Distance learning programs are expensive in terms of materials, trained staff, infrastructure, and continuous funding. Maintaining quality across many study centers is difficult. There is evidence that while many enrolled, only a fraction succeeded in meeting qualification thresholds. For example, by 1989, between 35,000 and 45,000 enrolled annually since 1984. Of those, approximately 186,000 had passed through by then, but approximately 75,000 had obtained the required qualification. So there's a significant drop-off. 2. Scaling and quality assurance. With expansion comes the risk of uneven standards across states and centers. Ensuring consistent quality in content delivery, assessment, supervision in remote areas is hard. The records do not show that these were fully solved during his tenure. 3. Infrastructure and tech limitations. In the earlier decades, telecommunications, printing, other ICT infrastructure were less developed in Nigeria, which constrained how far distance learning could be effective. Similarly, remote areas often have poor access to materials. These systemic limitations would have hampered NTI's reach and impact, especially early on. 4. Succession and institutional continuity. Though Drive. Wali stayed beyond normal retirement to ensure the vision was embedded. No human leader lasts forever. After his exit, maintaining momentum is always a challenge, especially when dependent on political will and funding. I couldn't find detailed records of how smooth or difficult the transition was, or whether some of his envisioned programs stalled after him. 5. Recognition and identity of distance education. In some circles, distance learning, or non-traditional delivery, was not always held in the same esteem as regular, full-time, campus-based teacher education. This may have affected how resources, prestige, and support were allocated. There is no strong record that he overcame all such perceptions. 6. Personal health and age. Eventually, of course, advancing age and declining health are natural limits. He died in 2017 at age 81 after a brief illness. Summary and legacy. Dr. Hafiz Suleiman Wali lived a life dedicated to education, especially to expanding access through creative means, craft schools, technical education, distance learning. His establishment of the NTI has had enduring impact, thousands of teachers trained, more educational access, helping Nigeria address teacher shortages and quality. The difficulties he faced were often systemic, funding, infrastructure, administrative capacity, rather than due to lack of vision or effort.